This is perhaps the fastest chronograph in the world. Based on the timing of the circuitry, it's able to measure at least 10,000 feet per second bullet going through two coils spaced at 8 inches apart. So what you see on the screen is the simulation of the circuit where we have two coils. The first coil is here and the second coil is over here. Second coil is actually L2 plus L4. The first coil is L1 plus L3. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a switch that short circuit this smaller inductor here to simulate the effect as the bullet passes through the coil. Basically it reduces the inductance of the coil when it enters the coil, and basically the way to simulate that is shorting out the coil over here with a switch. And the way I time the switch is based on this PWM that is set to trigger the exact timing of when the bullet enters the first coil. And then I have another PWM here that is programmed to short out this other coil, the secondary coil, exactly at a particular time when the bullet enters the second coil. So this is the basic circuits. It's basically a synchronous demodulator. The output of the coil is differential feeding the differential amp over here, this circuit over here. So how it works is one of the input is fed through a switch, and this particular switch is controlled by the same sine wave that feeds the coil. So basically it's the same frequency that is modulating the coil over here that is controlling the switch over here. So how this works is it's just modulating, it's basically mixing the input of the mixer. Basically, all you can say, you can think of this as a mixer here. It's actually an amp, so you're just adding two signal, one from the coil, right, and one from the timing circuitry, the sine wave here. So it's synchronous to the sensor frequency. So basically when you multiply the two frequencies together, when they're identical, it down converts to DC. So this particular circuit is modulating at 15 megahertz. This sine wave here is 15 megahertz. So you are basically mixing 15 megahertz with 15 megahertz, so the output will be DC if you put a low pass filter. So if you look at the timing diagram over here, the green trace is the timing switch that simulates the timing when the bullet enters the first coil. And the dark blue trace is the timing of the switch, which is this guy here, P4. The timing of the switch that simulates the effect of the bullet entering the second coil. And then the red trace is the output right here, the output here of the entire circuitry. As you can see, as the bullet enters the first coil, it triggers positive, and then as it enters the second coil, there's another positive output. So basically it is detecting the bullet as it enters the coil, and the timing differences between the two cursors. Let's add two cursors here for a second, and then you can see the actual timing. And you can see the timing delta between cursor 1 and cursor 2 is approximately 172 microsecond. So this is, we could probably detect even closer if we wanted to. This is exactly the time it takes to travel 8 inches when the bullet is traveling at about 10,000 feet per second. I don't think there's a bullet out there that'll allow us to verify that the circuit can actually measure something that fast. Well, pretty interesting. Thanks for watching.